Oak savanna is the most imperiled habitat type in the Willamette Valley, with less than 1% of the historical habitat remaining. Threats to the savanna system include Christmas tree farms, miscellaneous development, and probably most important, loss to encroachment by Douglas fir. Fortunately, there are many people and institutions committed to the conservation and restoration of oak savanna. One such person is Jock Beal, Chief Biologist at the Willamette Valley National Wildlife Refuge Complex.
I first started with oak restoration in the mid-1980s in Western Washington, and so when I came here in 2000, I started looking to get back into it because, especially here at Finley, we have such a nice concentration of Oregon white oak habitat, and the other thing is how much of it has disappeared over the valley over the years. And so because of that, we're looking at a lot of places where the oak was being threatened and overtopped by Douglas fir. So kind of in an estimation that in 15 to 20 years we could potentially lose 50% of the oak habitat that's remaining on the refuges. So for that reason, looking at Douglas fir trees being as the #1 threat, that's how we kind of started to felt that we had to start doing some work in that direction.
Oftentimes, this restoration requires the logging of Douglas fir. Special care is taken to try to reduce unintended habitat damage to neighboring trees and vegetation.
Sometimes you get lucky. Step up.
One measure often used to manage how much damage is done is to use horses for removal of the logs.
Roscoe, step up. Good horse. Step up. Hop. Hop. There you go. Good horse. Hop. Hop. Hop.
Perhaps the most crucial savanna restoration tool is fire. Savanna is a fire-dependent system, and decades of fire prevention is one of the crucial causes behind Douglas fir encroachment.
And in the areas where we're just starting the restoration process and there's a lot of Doug fir, it burns off all the old the little baby Doug firs and the little baby oaks. And it's basically just clearing the land from areas that have been we've excluded fire from for quite a while, that are fire dependent type ecosystems, and we're just trying to come back in and reintroduce fire into its natural role in the ecosystem, and it's in its right place for the progression of the prairie and all the plants involved in it.
The issue of whether local savanna was maintained by Native American burning or from natural causes is often debated. From the standpoint of biodiversity conservation, however, the distinction is irrelevant. There is now an ecological community that depends upon fire for its existence.
I don't know. I don't know for sure. That's a hard one to answer for sure. There's definite documentation of Native American burning, or Lewis and Clark in their journals, saw big smoke columns, and other journals from settlers note seeing smoke columns that they presumed were Native Americans, doing their own version of prescribed fire. Personally, I think it was a little bit of both. If you can, and Jock can talk more to this, but if you look at the transition from the oak savanna into the oak woodland in the lower foothills, there's an area in there where there's a lot of Doug fir and oak and everything kind of mixed in. I can picture a fire getting started on the valley floor on natural causes, lightning or something like that, and running right up into the foothills, into that mixed oak woodland habitat. And they've done tree core samples and fire history studies, and it kind of shows, that there was quite a bit of fire in the valley. Whether or not it was started by lightning or Native Americans, I don't know. But
the prescribed burns themselves require a great deal of orchestration and planning, mostly aimed at safety, both for the crew and to make sure that the fire does not spread beyond the prescribed areas. The burns are a beautiful and inspiring process to watch.
Let's go parallel along here. Let's go get one.
There are also private interests involved in savanna restoration. One such interest is Van Duzer Vineyards of Oregon. Van Duzer is a small winery near Dallas, Oregon, with beautiful grounds, delicious wine, and a friendly, dedicated staff. At the time of this production, they were in the early stages of the project eradicating the Armenian blackberry and other invasive plants. Following steps will include planting of forbs native to local savanna. With the work of these dedicated people, the beauty and serenity of the savanna can continue to grace the Willamette Valley for many years to come.